This is her last podcast. Well, maybe not the last.
Yeah, I'm just pausing for a while. Don't want it to be like so dramatic.
Well, let it be said that I am proud of my wife. She is a superstar.
Don't make me cry before we even start. Well, Jesus, on that note, happy hump day. It is Wednesday. Oh, God, I got a lot to share with you guys. So let's just get into it. Hello, world. Come inside the Dear Juju podcast. I'm giving Swan Lake, and I'm so excited because I'm actually going to Swan Lake in January with Georgiana and also one of my besties here in London. Victoria, you saw her, the wine master that I put up on YouTube. She's so fantastic, and she has two gorgeous little girls, and we're going to go to Swan Lake. And I think this is what I'm going to wear, right? I mean, it's very much giving Swan Lake. So I have some news. There is power in the pause. I actually had a podcast like that. God, I don't even know. Maybe it was in the 50s or the 60s. I'm not sure. But I am pausing this podcast for a while. I got a revelation, and it has come to my spiritual attention. I had an epiphany, and I'm like, I need to push pause on Dear Juju. So if you are on my Substack, I'm going to be giving my gift guide next Monday, and then I'll give a week to check all the emails and watch all the things, and then the following Monday, I will be closing my Substack. You will get prorated if you signed up for how many weeks you did, and if you signed up for a year, if you go month by month, it'll automatically cancel. So it's very much, where is this coming from, right? Dear Juju has been my pet project and conceived in my brain, like when I was on tour with the Black Eyed Peas, but it then just has a real deeper rooted hold on me. When I was a little girl, I got my first standing ovation when I was 8. I won every dance thing that I went to. And it was this real heady mix of not just dance, because there were a lot of good dancers back then, but it was dance plus like my personality shining through. Like for example, if the dance move was like this, like it was more like boom, like I would have so much fun dancing, and my personality would just shine and sparkle. And so I got in my head, I want to be famous, and I want to be famous by using my personality. I went to LA and I found out really quickly that I wasn't a very good actress. I was like, no, I'm actually really good at being me. So I'm going to start a brand where I'm me. And I have to be honest, I have not really hit a stride in these past 6 years. I've done amazing videos. I thank you all so much for supporting me, but a lot of people have gone viral for less. And it's not like I'm like, oh, I needed to go viral. But if you do step back and you look at these 6 years as a whole, the universe isn't really giving me thumbs up that this is the trajectory, you know? Like if I'm really going to be an observer, it feels like this path is very heavy. It feels a little dated. It feels very like sludge. I feel like I have my claws in something and I'm trying to make it work, and it feels very resistant. I don't know why. I don't know for what reason. I might pick it up in 5 years and it might flow like butter, who knows? But for now, in the season that I am, it's just really important that I pause. And I'm not giving up. This is not an end. It is just a moment. And I think it's important for everyone to pause and reflect. That's why we have summer, spring, winter, fall, or fall, winter, because it's like fall, you start to go, ooh, and then winter, we should really actually hibernate and push pause on things, and then spring, we can get back at it. It's a natural ebb and flow in life, and people are like, oh, well, you have to wait 10 years of not making any money. And it's like, I am so in the hole financially. Like you guys, when I do a DIY, I pay for all the stuff, I do all the stuff, and it's just so much time is invested in this. And the universe, this is really a spiritual journey because the universe is putting other things in front of me that are undeniable to explore, where it seems like my little effort is going to make maximum impact monetarily, creatively, and other things. So this feels like a chore. You know, I wrote something down that I want to share with you. And people say that your life begins at 40. And I want my life to look different. And it seems like my life right now, going on the Dear Juju trajectory, just isn't going to give me what I want, you know? And I'm starting to see what they mean by your life begins at 40 because I'm letting go of old stuff. And life has taken me in a new direction. And I want to follow it. I believe that life is life source. Everything that every human, plant, animal, that energy that we are, we're not plugged into anything. What the hell are we existing on? You know, that life force is God, is the universe, is whatever that magic is. And I feel like the universe is going over here, over here. I'm like, what about over there? I love this. I love this. And I really, truly do believe that if you love something, you have to let it go. And you have to let it go fully. And I love Dear Juju so much, the whole brand and the persona, but I need to let it go. I really do. And I love you all so much, and I appreciate you being here weekly and listening to pinworms out my asshole and other things. And it's been so fun to share like my stories. And now listen, January might come and I might feel a kick in my step and start it back on. So keep subscribed because I might want to do a come with me. Like, you never know what YouTube is definitely going to be my creative slice of the universe because I just want to feel like I can do what I want with no pressure. So please stay subscribed because it's going to come. It just might come in a different form. I don't think this is dramatic. I don't think it's sad. I mean, there's a part of me that feels a little like, wow, you know, anytime a story chapter ends, it's a little hard to let go. I think the new things that I'm exploring feel so exciting to me. And they feel so in line and they're coming so easily. It's scary a little bit. And it's just like, okay, I guess I'm supposed to be over here. And you know, all of you that have cooked with me, laughed with me, cried with me, followed me, supported me, wrote a comment. I just want to say thank you so much. I'm so honored that you would even be here with all the choices that we have. I also want to share this that I wrote because I think it's important. And sorry for reading, but I think it's better. The core of a performer's identity is the belief that your worth comes from how well you can make other people feel something. Joy, awe, laughter, admiration, and connection. You learn to read people's reactions like oxygen. Their applause becomes your heartbeat. Their approval becomes your compass. At its best, it is sheer magic because I have walked into places, sets, and rooms, and I had known I can electrify those places. You can transform energy. You can create connection out of thin air. You can feel alive in a way that most people never touch. And it does become a little bit like a drug. But the reverse side of that coin is it also feels toxic because a performer's identity quietly teaches you that no one says out loud, you do not get to exist unless you are giving something away. You are not allowed to simply be. You must deliver. You must sparkle. You must impress. You must entertain. And you must contribute. You must hold the room together. and you become responsible for everyone's experience, even when you are exhausted, hurting, or empty. To be fair and to be real, when you come from a toxic family and you just desperately, desperately want the family to stay together, you're like, hey, if we all share a laugh, we won't think it's that bad. Hey, like, guys, like, what if we all do this together? It comes from that need to hold it together instead of honoring everyone's experience and just letting it be. And I think that's true power, is just letting it be what it is. You don't have to do anything. It become toxic because your identity gets outsourced, right? You only feel worthy when someone else reacts well to you. Your sense of self depends on outside energy. Rest feels unsafe. Stopping feels like disappearing. Silence feels like failure, and a pause feels like a death to identity. And this is true. This is why I'm crying, because I'm still working from that old programming in that old mindset. You lose track of who you are without the applause. When you spend years shape-shifting into what people want, you forget your own desires. You learn to override your needs. Performers are trained simply to smile through the pain, and that's true. Prioritize the show and keep going no matter what. The show must go on. You become addicted to being on. Being adored, being the star, being the one with the charisma, being the one who lifts the room. It becomes the only version of you that feels allowed. Sorry, like fucking therapy. And I want to start from a new program that I'm allowed to take care of myself first. I'm allowed to do what's right for my family. I'm allowed to be successful without being on and hearing any applause from anyone. So we're buying a boring business. And God has just basically spoken to me and said, this is what you're supposed to do, And of course, I'm going to still be me. I'm going to dress the way I dress. I still believe in that. I still believe in Spark being a sparkle. I still believe in being a star. I think it's just without the syndication of it, right? This is why it feels toxic when I step away, even though it is healthy. My nervous system is trying to adjust to the idea that I'm allowed to exist without producing a feeling for anyone else. I am not losing something. I am reclaiming something. And I think it's just, as soon as I had this epiphany, I started bawling really hard and da-da-da. And sometimes I think God speaks to me through Instagram. If anything comes in your orbit in any kind of way, I really believe, listen to it. And I don't care. It could be a sign down the road. It could be my daughter's book. It could be Instagram. It could be anywhere. There are signs always if you are open. And what happens when you start to let something go is you start to crack open like an egg, and you get very sensitive, and you start to notice things coming from everywhere. As soon as I open Instagram after having a huge revelation, and it's actually from SZA, S-Z-A, SZA, however you say her name. And I guess it's a lyric from one of her songs. I'm not sure. Someone made art out of it, which is fucking sick, and it's beautiful. And it says, kill the urge to be chosen. Choose yourself. And that was the first thing that I saw right when it opened from someone who I don't even follow. And it was just like, kill the urge to be chosen. Choose yourself. So there's a whole power dynamic shift kind of happening. And when you're a performer, pick me. The Dear Juju show is so good. Pick me. Look what a good performer I am. Hello, my baby. Hello, my dad. And it's just, I'm not choosing myself. I'm not prioritizing myself, my health, and my wealth. I'm not sure when I will return, if I will return. I'll still be on Instagram, but I'll only post if things feel like really joyous or if I really have something to say and share. And so it's going to be a lot quieter over there. And I just need a pause. And I think, especially, I've said this before, but artists also really need a pause. I mean, everyone needs a pause, but artists especially need a pause, because you give so much that you need to go, wait, with all that I just said, who am I without that? Who am I if I'm not Dear Juju? Like, I'm Julianne. And I even made that name, Juju, if you want to go fucking deep. I even made that name because whenever I said Julianne, people would say Julie. People would say Jillian. People would say Juliana. No one could get Julianne right. And I'm like, oh, I'll make it Juju because that's easy and it's cute and everyone will like it. And it will be non-offensive and people can remember it and it's something they can remember. Like, fuck that. I am Julianne Waters, period. You know? So there's even a little bit of me like that. I feel like Julianne is ready to rise up, and I've always wanted to make little Julianne proud. And I have. I traveled the world with artists and stars that most people would just die to do. I've had experiences that have taken me this far, but it feels like the road now took me, and now I've just for months been like walking into a dead end, and that's what it feels like. So a bitch gotta make a fucking U-turn. A U! Ah, you! A U-turn and turn into you. Oh, shit! Oh, that was good. Come on now. I don't know how I do these things. It's not me, it's God. I have to make a U-turn. Make a U-turn into yourself and figure out what it's about. I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. So please don't forget that you're a star. Not because you have a podcast or have choreographed or been a professional dancer like me, but you're just a star just because you're sitting at your fucking desk right now. You're a star without anybody else realizing it, acknowledging it, seeing it, but just because that's what you feel like on the inside. And I'm about to explore that in a whole new way because it's easy to talk and know that I'm syndicating this out to 1,500 subscribers or sharing the clip to 56,000 followers. But what does that mean when you're just at your desk quietly? Well, the last piece of advice that I'm going to give you and leave on this note is choose you. Listen to your intuition. Please, please cry it out. Do it scared, do it hard. That's what I'm doing. I'm following whatever is happening. I'm following it. Read The Surrender Experiment by Michael Singer. That has completely changed my life. And that's, I read it years ago, but I feel like now I'm actually living it for the first time. And well, I live it all the time, but it's more so now I am coming to that hard impasse and I'm going, I gotta go with life. I must surrender. And if you ever feel like shit, get dressed and play some music. It's the best thing in life. Get dressed, take a shower, wash your cooch, feels good. Put on a little makeup. Oh, that feels good. Transform a little bit. Whether you're sitting at your desk or having a boring business like I'm about to do, know I'm going to be sparkling there. And I want you to sparkle too at your desk. I will still be Swan Lake in meetings. Don't fucking play with me because I'm doing it for me, And that's different. And play some music. Put on some good tunes that you go, oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, baby. And it feels so good. And fucking work out and lift weights. And especially if you're a female, work out in a community where there's other women. I go to F45, half are women. They play good music. I lift weights. I sweat. I feel fucking amazing afterwards. That's all I'm going to say. I love you. I'll see you next time. And I'm out. Mwah.